Good evening and welcome to our very first post-match show of the season. My name is Martin. I'm your host alongside Ozzy. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Evening, Martin. I'm not too bad. Thank you very much. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. And we're going to talk obviously about Burnley 0, Manchester City 3. That tapping merchant is at it again. £51 million waste of space.
Disgusting, isn't it?
Just bad. Got a lot to go through tonight. This is going to be a calling show as well. If you want to come and have your say, obviously be respectful. Remember, it's your channel. Don't ruin it. Use the StreamYard link that's in the top of the comments. And also, but what we're going to do is for the first 10 or 15 minutes, me and Oz will just give our opinions and then we'll bring in any speakers that they want. You don't have to be on camera either, but you have to be a subscriber of the channel. People enjoyed this last time, so I thought we'd have another little go at it. I'm just going to pin, so I'll see if I can pin. There we go. I'm going to pin the StreamYard thing so people know where they're at. Right, okay. So, Manchester City in a 3-0 win. What we'll do what we normally do. We'll say hello to everyone within the comments. But Manchester City's lineup, as we're going, was as follows. And it was a very strange lineup from a lot of people. We'll start with Manchester City with Steady Eddie in goal. Walker, Akanji, Ake, and Lewis. But Lewis, of course, did invert at the beginning with Rodri and then Rico Lewis, like I said, inverted. With Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, Foden, and Erling Braut Haaland. On the bench, the Blues was Phillips, Kovacic, Grealish, Laporte, Ortega, Gomez, Vardio, Palmer, and McAtee. Burnley with very, very much change as well from last season with Trafford, Roberts, Al-Dakhil, O'Shea, Bayer, De Silva, Colascio, Berg, Cullen, Foster, and Amaduni up top for the Clarets. So, Ozzy, what were your initial thoughts on the teams when you got announced? Because obviously everyone went into a bit of a thing of Kanji and Aki as a centre-back. What's going on here?
Yeah, well, as we discussed last night, it was we weren't sure about whether Diaz and Stones were out. We didn't hear anything from Pep during his press conference before the game. So we were kind of thinking, well, we haven't heard really anything to confirm that they were out. We were assuming that they'd play. And obviously it's been confirmed now that Diaz is going through concussion phase, and he's got 4 days. Is that right, Martin? Left?
Yeah, he's in his 7-day concussion protocol. That's set out by the league and everything. Now he's got done 2 or 3 days. He's got 4 days left, so he will miss the Seville game.
Yeah,
as will Stones as well. That's been confirmed as well. Stones will be out for Seville as well.
Yeah. And what is it with Stones? Actually, I can't remember now, Martin. What was it with him?
I don't know. It's not really been said. He's just said that he's got an injury and one of them famous niggles. Pep and the niggle. But apparently he's good. He is a lot better today. He won't quite be back for Wednesday, which I understand because there is the travelling on a plane to Greece and everything, and you don't want to do that and then play and aggravate it. And he's going to be back for Newcastle.
Yeah. No, that seems like a sense.
Happy wedding anniversary, Peter. Oh, yeah, don't upset your wife, mate. That's me who upsets mine.
So I think the surprise obviously was Lewis out on the left, and then obviously Ake and like you said, Kanji in between. So, but I think if you look at our bench at that point, Laporte didn't play very much last season, so you're going to have to start with the players that had been playing most of last season. So it made sense. I know there's probably going to be a few people that felt there were quite a few mistakes from Akanji. I think there was a little bit, but I don't think it was the end of the world. We didn't concede. I think he had some moments. I thought Walker played well. So the lineup was decent. I think we've talked about Alvarez in that 10 position. I didn't think he had much kind of going for the first half and kind of grew into the second. I didn't think Bernardo Silva really added anything in that game. So, you know, it was one of his off days.
Yeah. I thought we were better when KDB went off. I thought we became more balanced. And that sounds really weird, being obviously, you know, what position we were in. Not that I don't like Alvarez in that 10 role. It just hampers him. It handicaps him. I don't like it. You're not going to get the best. I thought when Kevin went off, Bernardo went into the centre alongside Rodri. Foden went right, and then Alvarez went to the left. Then I think Alvarez became a little bit more potent and dangerous. Gave Burnley something more to think about, and that's why I think he's better out there than he's just clustered into that middle where it's just a fight for the ball constantly. That's my opinion. I'm thinking Kyle Walker.
Oh, has Martin froze, or is he just taking a very long pause for dramatic effect? I'm going to go for froze.
Are we gonna go?
You froze a bit there, mate.
Sorry.
I thought you. It looked like a dramatic effect. So, he's done it again. Martin is having a few issues with his internet again. Come on, Martin.
No,
wind it back up.
I've just switched to what it is Virgin Media are changing things in my house. They're bringing UK. They're going to that super fibre broadband stuff, so everything's changing. Yeah, I thought Walker did okay for recovery pace, but I thought Burnley in the first half were causing all problems down our right, their left, and that's just because defensively Walker, and I don't want to go in because this is the problem. Akanji looked off, but that back line is not the back line you're going to see in 2 weeks' time. So it's unfair to go. Well, it's first game of the season, so I don't think it's fair to go into anybody today because I've heard some people have said Akanji was awful. But Akanji isn't a straight centre-back on the left. It doesn't work like that. So, to me, he was better on the right and, wide right. But so I think it's really silly to judge players in one game. I think it really, really is.
I also think Lewis had a poor game. I think he was bullied quite a lot.
I thought Lewis went out the game when he got hit by the lighter. If you go to that incident before it, I thought he was great. And then he got hit by that lighter. By the way, that tool has actually now been banned. So big up Burnley Football Club for that. It was identified quickly and they were kicked out of the ground, and that will be great. So big up to Burnley Football Club for that. That needs to be stamped out of the ground straight away. I thought he went into a shell when he got hit by the lighter. I don't know whether it was a fair thing or but I mean, I'll be honest, I was surprised he played. I think it's a big statement for him to start that game.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think none of us saw him starting the game. But like you said, Martin, before the lighter incident, he was in the game. After that, I think, a lot of people may say, well, it's just a lighter. But if you're being hit by an object, you're out there to play a game. You're not out there to be having any sort of physical abuse or verbal abuse in that respect. But I think, as you said, Martin, it was a disgusting, thing to happen to a kid who, he's just trying to play his football. He's trying to just do his job at the end of the day. And he doesn't need that kind of abuse hurled at him. So I'm very grateful for Burnley Football Club doing what they've done. And I think the other thing, I'm sure we'll get to it properly, but, someone coming onto the pitch as well, we had Dan on last night, and I'm sure, these two idiots don't represent the club, and it doesn't. I'm sure when we have him back on, he'll say it himself, but it's the first game of the season. For that level of behaviour, for the first game where, let's be honest, no offence to Burnley, and we talked about this last night with Dan, but you weren't expected to win that game. I thought Burnley played well in parts. They had some good moments. I thought, going forward for them, I think they're more than capable of staying up. But I just think from those two idiots doing what they did, I just think have you lost your head? First game of the season playing the treble champions. I mean, come on, really? Yeah, that level of behaviour is just not. It shouldn't be allowed, and I don't want to see it.
Ideally, Sean, I'll be honest with you. No, we want to make sure you're 16 and over, only because cover us. But more than welcome to have a listen and join you in the comments, mate. So yeah, thank you for asking. By the way, Sean, appreciate that. I'm just going there. Good enough start for that's the thing. It's the first game. He's more of a winger. Who do you mean? I don't know if you're responding to the comment me and Ozzy made, or a comment someone's made in the chat, Cameron. So well, fantastic start. We looked ambition. We'll have something to prove. I mean, that's the thing. Burnley fans throwing objects. Yeah, it was a total disgrace, and they need sorting out. Yeah, he's been banned. He will get banned. Agreed straight away. That just can't happen. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not having to go at Alvarez. I want Alvarez in the 11. I just want him in a position where he's more potent. I think he's wasted in that middle area. It's too, especially a game like Burnley, where they're just going to rough and tumble you sometimes and go at you. I think we just got to be a bit more careful with it. But I thought we looked more balanced when Kev went off. I mean, let's start with him in the opening goal. Corner, by the way, we scored a corner.
Yeah.
That's the big breaking news.
Set pieces, 2 set pieces for the first 2 goals. I think, I mean, they were talking about it on Sky after the match, saying that, City we've now got the team where it used to be, you go back a couple of seasons, all of our players were 5 foot something or under. Now with the land of the giants, it's quite funny actually, because we swapped with Burnley. Now they're all, I mean, they used to be the land of the giants. Now they're all their players are, 5 foot or under. It's quite a remarkable switch around in just, 12 to 24 months. You know what I mean? So I think City have, Haaland mentioned it himself, that goal is something that we have been working on only on yesterday's training. So it's something that City have now got in their locker. And it's effectively working really well. It's worked over the last 12 months effectively really well. So I want to see that more coming off, because I think a lot of us a couple of seasons ago were getting really fed up with the short corners because nothing ever came of it, and it was just getting annoying. It was just like, just lump it into the box and just see if someone can get their head or a foot on the end of it. Do you know what I mean? And now we are starting to see that it actually pulled off because they're actually practicing this properly, and we've got the players to do it.
I mean, great balling from Kevin. You have the big salmon, who, by the way, we are going to talk about, Rodri. We really are tonight, because there are price tags going around for CDMs at the minute, well over 100 million quid. I'm telling you now, Rodri's massive. He's worth probably about 250, 300 million if you're talking anything like that.
For a treble winner, do you know what I mean? And he's worth excess, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Alan's give us a super chat. Thank you. Pep needs a slap after playing KDB. Good win from City. Young Trafford looks class. It's a class. Let's say class, but so Alan wants to give Pep a slap.
Oh, I can imagine that'd go down well, Alan. Do you know what I mean? Sell tickets for that boxing match. I mean, Alan makes a point. James Trafford, he is him to start tonight, because none of us called it. I don't think it was Dan called that he would play. I think it was Mudryk who was saying that he felt would start. So I think it's quite ballsy from company to put him in the sticks. But he sees what a talent he is, and I think, going forward, I think he could be England's future number 1. I think there's a chance, he could come back to City because, we have got a buyback clause. If Ortega moves on, he could come into the second position. Eddie's not going to last forever, so yeah, he certainly is.
Patrick True City Vans joined us. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Actually, good. I'm not actually good. I just have a sore throat, but I'm okay overall, and just uh, just surviving. But excited with the first game. Obviously, I had a lot of criticisms, but some people are telling me to calm down. That is because it's the first game. But I don't know about you guys. I just thought without John Stones, without Laporte or defenders who can carry the ball from the back, I think we struggled with that. And I saw the point where Edison had to go deeper into the pitch just to get the ball to one of our guys. And I also saw Rodri had to drop in. So for me, look,
I loved it.
that's
Not like
yeah.
long ball, I've said. Did you not like long ball
Nah.
tonight?
I just think if John Stones or Laporte or Josco, guys who are good on the ball, were in that back line, I think that's not happening. I think that happened because we were being pressed and we had three people at the back, or the whole back line was not that great at carrying the ball from the back. And I know some people say Lewis looked comfortable in the team. I just think he needs more time to become physical. He keeps getting bullied. I don't know if I'm coming as Mr. Negative, but I was just looking at the game and trying to look at certain
No,
things. But on a positive note, there's a few positives, Martin.
on
Anyway.
that, Patrick, we just said that about Lewis. We said we thought he was good up until the lighter incident. It was as though that if you watch the game before the lighter, he was great in that sort of, the inverted role with Rodri. And then he got that lighter chucked at his head and he seemed to go into his shell a little bit. And that's not the first time I've seen him do that, but he's a young lad. And I think that's just the... Do you remember Pep last season talking about Lewis getting bullied and he needed the rest of the team to step up and support him?
Yeah.
I feel like Lewis is... Got to remember with Lewis, he's jumped a whole generation to get into this.
He has.
He never did EDS.
Yeah.
He played, I think, 2 games in EDS. So I think we have got to not baby him a little bit, but look after him a bit more. But sorry, go on. You were going to go to the positives.
No, I think he will learn. Remember Lamptey from Brighton, small fella, came in. He was being bullied. Then mid-season, he just became stronger. He knew how to use his body. I think it will happen. The positives, to be honest, the first positive is Haaland still scores. That's the obvious one, regardless whatever you do. Don't forget, for me, I had to watch the game 2 minutes behind, which frustrates me a lot. I didn't get time to pay off my Now TV. Then I decided to just do the other way. Then I was 2 minutes behind and looking at my phone saying Haaland has scored. I was like, oh my God, this guy is unbelievable. Only thing also I'm worried about, maybe now, Martin, since all of you have been watching me on Twitter, twerking for Paqueta, maybe now you understand why maybe City are looking for another midfielder who is a bit creative. Maybe you understand, because I said it in a space. I was like, I'm not trying to jinx things, but I was like, I have a feeling that De Bruyne has been rushed back. I don't know if it was just me. I just felt I saw him playing. I was like, but do we really have to push him this fast? While you just warned us last season that it was not great. So I was just hoping that they're looking for a midfielder, because sometimes when De Bruyne is not available in this team, I don't know if it's just me, the FA Cup final, if he doesn't perform, the Champions League against Chelsea, the Champions League, this one, when De Bruyne is out, the team is not creative. And it requires goals from Alvarez, like Fulham, goals from Rodri, like the UCL final, or Gundogan, to ask for him to win the game. So maybe that's why players, again, I repeat, like Paqueta, are being inquired. Because if you look at Paqueta, he's tried his utmost best to assist Antonio, but Antonio doesn't have a first touch and misses a lot. So that's all I'm worried about, is De Bruyne. But overall, I am happy with the game, to be honest. I liked seeing Alvarez, even though at first Alvarez and Foden were not working until they switched. I think it was better. I enjoyed seeing Kovacic. Maybe some people who are saying Kovacic is not the replacement for Gundogan were right, but I'll give it time because he might improve. I liked seeing Marketing at the end, and it looks like he was hustling and working hard. I also liked seeing Cole Palmer, for him to be put at the shopping window, because I hear Moyes is after him. But overall, to be honest with you, I like everything, but I was very jealous to see that Trafford is the real deal. And I was like, thank God we put that buyback, because it looks
I wasn't
like
that impressed with him.
You were not?
No. I mean, saying that, I mean,
Martin's hard to please, Patrick. He's so
What game
hard
were
to
you
please.
watching?
no, it's not. You said that about Alvarez. I'll be honest with you, Pat. I'm lost to where we put Alvarez in this team at the minute. I'm really, because Do you remember me last year, Pat? And I said I was worried about where Alvarez went.
Mm.
And everyone was like the number 10. Everyone thought I hated Alvarez, and I've never, ever hated Alvarez. My question was always, where does he go? So what? And it felt a bit like Pep was right. I've got to play him. Rightfully, he deserves to play. He's an absolute quality player. And it's like I'm just shoehorning him into this 10 role. And he's not comfortable there. You can see he's not comfortable there. I thought
he was comfortable wide, though. Out wide, he was comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think we got more balance when Kevin went. Not saying I wanted him injured. When Kevin went off, Bernardo went to the middle, folding right, and Alvarez left. I thought we got more balance then. Thought we became a bit more threatening from against Burnley, even despite us getting the goals. And that's predominantly where I'd like to see Alvarez in the end. He's in one of the front threes.
But you know who Alvarez is, Martin. You and me, we hinted it once that if there was a striker that Pep would have wanted at the beginning and called, it looks like it's Alvarez. And Pep, when he has a player that this is my striker, because Alvarez is just a hybrid of Jesus. Same hard work, but can finish. That's the only difference. This one can finish better. So I think you're going to see that a lot. I think he likes him at a point where he's like, I'm going to just shoot on him wherever I want to put him, which is unfair because that's the same thing that has been happening to Foden. And that's what a lot of people complain about, that Foden, it's about time, just give him a position. Because I think Foden is more dangerous at the right-hand side. I don't know if it's just me. I feel he's way more dangerous at the right-hand side more than the left.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, totally agree. I got to say, Pat, were you saying about the about Haaland and Alvarez? I think you're right. I think we've said it ourselves on this channel about, I think if the striker that I think Pep really wanted, he wanted Kane initially, and I think with Alvarez coming in, I think same kind of thing. It was that type of play he wanted. Yeah. Obviously, he got Haaland, and it was quite funny because after the first half, there was the whole spat that was kind of made quite big on Sky. That him and Pep had a bit of a falling out, and afterwards, Haaland was talking about it after the game, and he said, "Well, literally, I wanted them to play it behind." I think he wanted, I think it was Bernardo Silva to play it in behind before the whistle went, and he didn't do it. And even though it was on goal, probably would have scored, but apparently Pep didn't want him to do that. It was like, no, Bernardo Silva did the right thing. I didn't want that I don't want it to be played in behind at that moment. I just think.
Wait a minute, Pep. So I get it now, because I was also, you've just hit it on the spot. I have looked at certain things and say, why are these players not doing that? But Pep, come on, because there's an opportunity. But this one, I think, is not Pep. This one is Rodri. Did you see that opportunity where?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Rodri
That was
just
criminal.
Put it through. That was criminal.
That was criminal. I was literally, I was like, what are you doing, Rodri? You played so well, and you met a shot like that. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, but I have to say, with the whole thing with Haaland and playing these balls in behind, I think it is something that Pep is going to have to think about a lot more, because
he's going to have to accept it. Yeah, he's going to.
There are times where we need that to happen, because you've got to have a plan B, a plan C. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to question Pep because we won the treble last season. Yeah, but I just feel this season just feels like we've lost some key players, and we're going to probably play a little bit different compared to how we have in the past. So I think we are going to have to see. Today we saw it clearly. Martin mentioned it. With Ederson kicking the balls long, it worked in some respects because you could see that. I mean, we know how brilliant Ederson is with doing these passing the ball up front, and we've seen him scored an assist from these kind of things. So for me, it worked well in some respects, but there's always got to be a plan B and C.
Yeah, those balls in behind have to happen. And I don't understand why. Like, I get Pep total football, but I don't know if you guys saw Martin Ozzy. Like, even the Bernardo one, he had to put the ball through. And, okay, so is Pep trying to tell us that he's going to sacrifice scoring a goal for the sake of pretty football? Is that what he's trying to say? Because that was through on goal. I think the Bernardo one, I know the one. If he just hit it, Haaland is through on goal again. So I don't know. I just don't know. But the funny thing is, it looks like De Bruyne doesn't listen, because De Bruyne still just hits it in the front. I don't know. It's just crazy. To be honest with you, I saw Haaland again make runs today, and nobody gave him the ball. Instead, they recycled it. Maybe some of the players are like, if I do that and risk it, Pep will sub me. I don't understand. I don't know, Martin, and also if you've heard anything. What's the plan on Markety? The rumors were after the preseason they'll decide. Markety is not being linked to anybody. It looks like he's here.
Looks like he's staying.
I've got a fear. I don't think he will. I think he'll go out on loan.
Do you think he won't stay?
Like I said, because Paqueta is out of the West Ham squad this weekend. I think that will get done. I think Doku will get done. So
Doku Monday, isn't it? The report is
so
Monday.
The problem is it's where then you fit them in. Cancelo, by the way, Cancelo is now edging closer to Barcelona. God knows what they've arranged.
I bet it's going to be a loan, and then Barcelona get him for free one day.
Whether they're paying us in brass buttons, I don't know what they're going to do with this one. But Cancelo said his goodbyes, and I think he's already even out in Barcelona at the moment.
Can I ask about Doku, Martin? Because so look, I'm
worried about him. Sorry, I'm worried.
Look, Paqueta, I get it because, as I said.
You moan about Grealish with goals and assists. Look at this lad with goals and assists in League 1.
Yeah, I know.
It's not great. I mean, me and Martin were talking about this earlier off camera, and we were saying that he kind of his goals and assists aren't great. I think if you compare him to someone like Cole Palmer, he's pretty much the same. You know, okay, he's played more than him, but he hasn't scored or assisted more than him.
I think I know why they'll pick him. Like I sat back and I was studying the fact that why would they bring Paqueta and Doku in this team while we've got Markety and these guys? Start watching them. They're the same again as Jack. I have noticed there are people who obviously Paqueta is a dribble guy, and that's me. And Martin knows me and dribble missions. You buy me. Once you dribble past people, you've got me. But Doku, I noticed, is also he keeps the ball and opens spaces for people. Obviously, he can dribble past people also. But I'm trying to think, what's the plan for Doku, especially? I get Paqueta because he's a good passer and he can see a pass. I get it, and he's press resistant. But Doku, I'm like, what exactly is there? Because I was complaining about goals. And the thing was, they want to get a winger who can score goals. Wasn't that the line by everybody, the big reporters?
So why Doku?
Yeah, I was looking at Doku. The only thing I saw that, maybe people love that because Raheem wasn't like that. He might be fast like Raheem and Sané, but I've noticed he keeps the ball more than others. Like he can keep the ball. So it's another.
By the way, sorry to interrupt. This is breaking. Pep's now confirmed Kevin's going to be out for a while. What a while is, I don't know. It's the exact same injury that he got in the UCL.
Now watch the transfer. Now watch the transfers go faster now.
So, yeah, that's... I don't know what to say about that one.
Do you think they rushed him? Do you think I'm right that he was rushed? I think the whole, even not today, but overall, I think they could have chilled because, come on. They could have chilled.
We talked about this on the Community Shield preview. I thought he needed at least 45 against Arsenal to get warmth in the legs, get his body ready and everything else. He got 20 minutes. I don't think it was then enough to throw him in to start against tonight. I thought it was and don't get me wrong, the only good thing is he felt it straight away and went, no, forget it, I'm done. He didn't try and play on, he didn't try and aggravate it. I think it'll go to the physios and the doctors probably over the weekend. Best case scenario, it depends what grade of a tear it is, whether it's a tear or a full, or whether it's just
but it's so close to the other one, isn't it? So close to the other one.
Like I said, maybe he was rushed back, maybe a touch too soon. But we talked about it last night. Other than KDB, we had no attack. We had no other attacking midfielders to go with. We were stuck.
And do you know the thing?
Kind of got to throw him in.
Yeah. Have you seen our team? The issue I've said it, and somebody argued against me. Yes. I've said this over again. Kovacic knows how to keep the ball and carry the ball. Guess what? Bernardo knows how to keep the ball and carry the ball. That's what
they're all similar. They're all the same.
They're all similar. So what you're gonna get is a football team of just pass. Jack comes in, he knows how to keep the ball and hold the ball. It's just pass.
I mean, one of the will say,
That's what I'm saying.
Ozzy, you had doubts on Paqueta. I burnt back last night because I saw some clips. By the way, Alan, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to pop it, mate. Listen, it's all opinions, mate. You want to jump about Trafford? Well done. We'll see. But thank you for the super chat. I saw, that clip that's been going down Twitter of Paqueta at the Etihad.
Yeah.
About, when everyone goes man marking on us, and Paqueta was just getting in and out of these tight spaces, the turn and everything.
Yeah.
Thought right because I'm still a subscription on City TV for my thing. I was the silly one who decided to pay the $4.99 still. So I went back and I watched the West Ham game from last year. I got sold in watching it. I went, yeah.
You get why, isn't it? It's because of Arsenal and teams like Burnley.
I'm not sure if it because that West Ham game felt a bit blah last season. It was a bit like kind of not, like a game.
It was done. It was 3-0. It was 3-0.
Yeah, and I went back and watched it, and I just spent the game watching Paqueta, and I'm like, he ran the West Ham team. He ran the damn thing, and I'm like, yes, please. You under Pep? Yes, thank you. And he's clearly had his head turned. He clearly wants to move. The price I couldn't give a damn about anymore because when Casado's going for 111, do you know what made me laugh? Let's take the Casado stuff. Do you know where we're at with transfers now? Where Chelsea and Liverpool, where Brighton say to Chelsea and Liverpool, you have a deadline. Both give us bids in envelopes. We'll do it privately. Let's see what happens. Is that where we're at with transfers now? It's like a bidding war in one of these documentaries.
I think we're close to that. If we did the West Ham thing, I think West Ham was going to do the same to us too. I think it's good we didn't go on toe-to-toe. I was telling somebody that City almost went into that with the West Ham and Arsenal thing. I bet you West Ham could have enjoyed the bidding war if we continued bidding. But Brighton... That's why I big up to Kudos for telling them that he's not going there with a risk clause and he's refused to go there because he wanted a risk clause put in his contract. Going forward, Martin and Ozzy, players are going to tell Brighton, I want something put in my contract that I can leave because you can't trust them at all. And you remember what happened with City? 40 million agreed for Kukulea. They changed last minute. So Brighton, I don't know. I just don't trust. But to be honest with you, I don't know about what you're hearing, Martin, from your side, but I hope we don't end up paying £100 for Paqueta as much as I like the signing. Yeah, 100 million. Sorry, 100 million pounds because I would be happy with 95. 95, I'd be happy, but 100 no, I don't.
Wow,
think so.
Can I just say, by the way, I just realised Muddy Duck has gifted memberships again. I think I'm just looking now. Yeah, Muddy Duck has gifted 5 memberships again, which is a lot of money. Big up, Muddy Duck. You are a legend. Thank you so much. We're going to try and get him on at some point because we got a lot of emails of Muddy, which is a superstar. So I'm going to have a chat with him over the phone next week. I'm going to try and get him in as a guest one week because I think it'd be amazing. But thank you for that. That is amazing. Listen, I'm not saying because I haven't watched a lot of Doku. I haven't. I just looked at his stats last night and I'm like, oh, he scored 20 goals, 15 assists sort of thing, you know. And it was like, I think it was like 4 goals, 3 assists. And there was a lot of the season out with a dead leg. So I'm like, he's either injury prone or he's seriously, I don't know. But again, it's Pep magic. But then they were talking about a record fee for a player from rent to leave. And then I got someone text me today and went, this has quietly been getting done since the start of July. Yeah, no one's known about it. Yeah. Because we were all busy with Vardiol and all busy with other players. So I don't know.
As we said though, Martin, it's very rare. It's very rare that we get a bad signing. Do you know what I mean? It's usually we get a player in and these players kind of kick on and they get better. I mean, I think that's something that's really underestimated when it comes to Pep, that he makes players that are good into world beaters. And I think that's something that is sorely not kind of Pep giving enough credit, that these players come in and their tempo, they hit another level for me. And And maybe that's something they've looked on. Maybe they've been tracking him for a while, and maybe they think this is the kid that we want to come in and replace Mahrez.
All I know is I think okay. I've said this multiple times to many people. This is the reason why I was always advocating for Mitoma. We don't dream about Mitoma; it will never happen. Omo has extended.
You're never getting Danny Olmo, and you're never getting Mitoma.
I'm done with Mitoma. I like Mitoma, but Brighton is never happening again. Not Brighton. Brighton are asking for 150 million for Mitoma. 150 million for Mitoma. Yeah, so I think what Pep is looking for, as Martin said, is, when people go 1v1 with City or go tight with City players, they are all the same. It's like we've got the same players. They hold the ball too much, but you're like dribble past somebody, get past your man. I've noticed Doku and Paqueta can do that. I think Doku, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody who gets wide, beats his man, sees Haaland, and passes the ball. I think that's what he's going to try to teach him to get through to, because I've just noticed both players look different from what we have so far. I don't know if it's just me. I'm just looking at the players we have. That's the thing about Marketing and Palmer. That's so similar to what we have. But Palmer, the only difference is he shoots from far and he shoots and asks questions later, which I like about Palmer.
I think that's what you got. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, no, go on, Ozzy.
I was just going to say, I think the thing that people still forget for me is that we've lost Mahrez. Mahrez scored some crucial goals. He had, he got some amazing assists. His numbers are now gone. Okay, we've now got to find someone to replace those numbers, because as excellent as Haaland is, there's going to be times where he may go for a bit of a drought. You've got to have someone like a Mahrez who can come in and do what he did. So you've got to replace those numbers. Is this kid Doku going to be able to do that? I have my doubts, but we'll see what happens. But I think that's the thing we are sorely forgetting, is that we are going to miss Mahrez at some stage. A lot of people are going to think, nah, talking rubbish, Ozzy. But honestly, later on the season, we'll be crying out that we're missing Mahrez.
Do you think I don't think he's an out-and-out replacement for Mahrez. I think that's just the media putting it there. I think this kid, they said, and the funny thing is, Martin is right. I'm shocked, Ozzy, that they have been looking at this kid apparently ever since he made a debut for Belgium. Apparently, they've been keeping an eye on him.
From KDB,
yeah, they have been watching him the whole time. So I think they were just looking for a space for him. He's not here to replace Mahrez, but I think, to be honest with you, the guy who I want to get a bit of game time and for him to get back to what he was is Foden. I want Foden to just become a regular in this team, because Foden is the guy who rescued us a few times. The time when he got Raheem off the bench and Raheem decided to leave, Foden was the guy at Liverpool scoring, Man United scoring. He was scoring the big goals. So you're right, though, about Mahrez. I just found out that every season he was either the top goal scorer or the second top goal scorer in the team. So those goals are gone.
You say
those goals and assists are gone.
But I was looking at some stats the other day. People like a stat. Do you know who our third most creative player was in the whole squad last season?
Are you talking
Kevin?
about just? Yeah, but I'm talking about creating. But the thing about Mahrez is, I know you're talking about create. There's this creating.
I'm mentioning your best mate down there.
Yeah. But look. I know you're talking about creating, and not the creating you're talking about. But Mahrez he was the direct assists and direct goals. You get it? Because I know the creating you're talking about. There's this creating that I know Jack is high on creating.
You know what I mean? Are we looking too deep into this assist goal? I think if it was Arsenal, then yeah.
But on goals and assists win games.
If you had an Arsenal team or somebody else who was a bit more like your Sakas and your Martinellis, who were just like ping and gone. So, for example, like when we had Sané Sterling, I think then you can go, right. I just think Pep's come away from that. Yeah. In an ideal world, 100%. Bernardo, Grealish, and it was the other one, needs to get more goals and assists. 100% agree with you. 100%.
Martin, you're not comparing Mahrez to Leroy and Sterling.
No, what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say. By the way, the Mahrez goals were very skewed, because look at when he scored them and who he scored them. And when it was a very, you got to look at times in games. You got to look at.
They were important though. We were struggling sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I'm going to throw some out. By
Martin,
the way,
Martin,
well done, Pep.
Jerry will come after you. Be
Stupidity.
careful. Jerry will come after you. Jerry will
Are
come
you
after
trying to have a fight with Pep tonight, Alan?
you.
You trying to have a fight with him? Bloody hell! Thank you.
I don't get it. Why are people angry at him playing De Bruyne? I thought he's a player.
Super Silver disagrees with us. Doku is currently the best dribbling player in the world.
That's a shout.
That's a big statement.
That's a big statement. I don't see it. I've seen very little of this kid. But
listen, he's here to prove us wrong.
Yeah. If
wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. By the way, Dennis, renewing your membership for 2 months. You're a superstar. Thank you. By the way, I found out as well, Muddy Duck gifted memberships last night as well. So I'm not going to tell you how much it is, but it is not cheap. Big thank you to you. Muddy Duck, you are a superstar. Thanks, 2 nights straight on that.
That's a debut for Money Dog. A debut.
And you will all be entered into the end of the month giveaway to get prizes. I've sent you over to Andy's channel. New online store. You can get mugs, t-shirts, all that sort of stuff. And he'll do them actually for you. So if you want this glorious face on a mug, you can get it. If you want Ozzy's famous beard on a mug, you can get it. The Mancunian Way logo, get it. If you want City type,
what about my beard going on the mug? Yeah, my beard is going. I'm gonna put my beard on the shirt.
You come away from Lavia, look. You're doing Lavia, you come away from it.
You know what, Martin? I say this again. Lavia, people are fighting for Lavia. What a time to be a City fan. Our City academies, people are fighting.
Do you know what? If I was Lavia, I'd feel like a right. Sounds awful to say this, and I don't mean it in a disgusting way, but like a sloppy second. Because Lavia sat there with Liverpool negotiating, and then all of a sudden, Caicedo comes along. They can't be bothered pushing an extra 5 million on Lavia because they haven't got the money, but we'll go under the 11 million on Caicedo, and then all of a sudden, Liverpool go, oh, we might need Lavia back. I'd be like, piss off, see you later.
Yeah, but do you know the game that's been played, Martin? Both Chelsea and Liverpool are snakes. They wanted to buy Cancelo first, then buy Lavia. Both of them were still holding on to the bid of Lavia.
Yeah.
Both of them, do you know what? Both of them wanted to buy Cancelo, then go buy Lavia because they want both DMs in their teams because they're missing DMs. But I get what you mean. To be honest with you, you know what's gonna make me laugh? Imagine if all this goes around next year, City just say, "Oh, here's the active 35 buyback." When it gets activated here, you
know who I think City will get? I mean, this is a long way off, but I think City will get Wirtz. I've been told Wirtz is on a list, but it's for next year, not this year. Florian Wirtz. Yeah. One thing I will say, by the way, and this is way off topic. Let's spare a moment for young Tyler Adams, currently at Leeds United, who had a 20 million buyout at Chelsea accepted, went to London to do his medical. Then got told to piss back off to Leeds because they cancelled the medical because they were getting Caicedo.
That's bad.
That is Chelsea Football Club in just an absolute. That is absolutely awful for the lad. The lad's gone down there, excited as hell, ready to do a medical and told to go back because they cancelled the deal.
That's bad.
And it's not even a negotiation. They've done the release clause of 20 million and then told him to go away. It was like, come on. That's when, if Manchester City ever get to that level, I'm sorry, I will be disgusted at that point. Have a little bit of soul. Chelsea, have a word. Todd Bowley's nearly at £1 billion, and then has the cheek to have a go at people. Now, sorry. Anyway, I want to talk about Rodri.
Oh, I have to go.
Yeah. Do you want a quick word on Rodri, Pat? You've got to talk about the world's best.
Yeah, I think. You know what I'm going to say? I feel sorry for Phillips because this man, Rodri, he's like, no, I'm telling you, like, you know what? Phillips is not bad. And I want to tell people, all those jokes we do that, Liverpool, my friend, buy him. It's just jokes. But Phillips is not bad, but he's come to a team where somebody has just become a bit of a monster. Somebody has just become complete. Today, Rodri carried this team. Would I lie saying that? He carried the team. He made sure we don't concede. He made sure he looks after everybody. I don't know Martin, what we're going to do with Phillips. Because do you know why I'm saying this? It was 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left. Rodri looked at the bench. Even the announcer said Rodri looks tired and is looking at the bench saying, please let it be me. No. Nowhere for Phillips to be seen. At the point where Mancunian and Palmer came in. I know Pep is putting them in the shopping window because a lot of teams want them. But come on, Phillips, 15 minutes, put him on. And you know what breaks my heart, Ozzy and Martin? The lad was still smiling at the end. This
He's
lad
a nice
breaks
lad.
my heart.
And you know what? I've always said, and I said it on air, it's nothing against Phillips. My question has always been, where does he play? He got 0 minutes in the Community Shield, 0 minutes tonight. Calvin Phillips needs to take the hint now. For his own career. For his own career now. Just go. And it's so sad because I didn't think Pep would ever do this. But, and I'm not saying it's not partly his fault because it is, but Phillips is not. What do you do? Sit on your hands.
Is it 100% his fault? At this point, I don't think it's 100% his fault. It's not like bad.
I think
I watched his games. Like
there's a mixture. Something Calvin is doing is not impressing Pep.
It's Rodri, Pep, and Phillips. You can put three together.
Kovacic.
Yeah, Kovacic.
No, I don't think you can put Kovacic. I think if you just keep it basic, it's Phillips could not get a minute because Rodri is the best CDM in Europe, in the world. He really is. I mean,
but he needs rest, Ozzy, and
he does. No, he does. He does need rest.
I think Rodri said that as well recently, by the way, in a quote.
Yeah, 56 minutes. He said 56 games, and
hasn't he said I'm just gonna drop at some point. I can't do this.
Yeah. And the problem is that because and we've all said this even before this statement came out. We've all said that eventually he's either going to get an injury or he's going to get burnt out. And is Phillips really going to come in and take that position? No. As Martin said, it's going to be Kovacic more than likely. Do you know what I mean?
Lewis, as he was tonight.
Yeah. For me, I agree with Martin. I think it's now time to cut loose Phillips for his own sake, for his own career, because Pep just doesn't trust him enough. And I think that's been screaming out loud, even though it's silent. It just screams out loud that he needs
Neil.
to go.
You guys, this is a nice guy. Let's not do this.
Calvin, third round of the Carabao's coming up.
He won though. Let me tell you something, Neil. Oh. They would be paying the under 16s, and Phillips will still not be brought on. Come on, 15 minutes, Martin. 15 minutes, 3-0.
Do you think Phillips is like? Do you think it's a little bit of pride with him of I can't let this opportunity go?
You're smiling. The guy is smiling.
In his eyes, he's going, I'm at Manchester City. Paqueta is literally going on strike to get to us. Phillips is sat there going, I'm not leaving this place because I don't know where to go after here. And he's like,
okay, is Paqueta another midfielder? So where does the ranking go again? Because Martin, let me give you another warning. Do you know that Paqueta, right? Not only plays attacking midfielder. There was a point in Lyon, they used to drop him also, and he could still play the whole.
And he could play left. I know. It's bad. Like I said tonight, Rico Lewis got in the head.
Mancunian got in too today.
Mancunian. Let's put it on way. KDB went down first. Who was the first sub?
Was it again? Who came
Kovacic. Yeah.
Phillips. He's done. He's done. And I don't mean it in an awful way because I wanted him. I fell in love with him after that documentary. I was like, yeah, you're in that. I really want you to do well. But when you can't get on in the Community Shield and you get 0 minutes at 3-0, I mean, even Mancunian came on in the 90th minute and Phillips, he sat there like playing word search or whatever he was doing. I don't know what he was doing. But
and he's still smiling. That's what I'm saying. This guy is still smiling on the bench.
Yeah, and I love it. And, you know, considering Cancelo's bitched and complained to get out the door, Walker had a bitch, Diaz had a bitch, and this lad's just sat there smiling away like he's won the lotto, going, I'm not moving.
Maybe he has. He's like, I'm not going anywhere.
But the problem is he's going to become a Harry Maguire. Do you know what I mean?
Harry Maguire gets minutes.
But yeah, what I'm saying though is that Harry Maguire wasn't good enough for United.
Oh, no. Ozzy, you made a mistake. What's that other guy? The defender. he didn't want to give away the number 4 jersey at United. Phil Jones. It's gonna become Phil Jones.
Yeah.
Phil Jones. Yeah, Phil Jones.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to become Winston Bogart, actually. He'll just sit there for 5 years picking up his wage, going, I'm not moving, I'm up there. For me, he needs to go for his own career now. He needs to go for his own career.
Isn't he seeing all these teams looking for DMs and maybe he's not like...
Do you know what? Just go to West Ham. Phillips, and you get Paqueta.
But they bought Alvarez, though. They bought the Alvarez guy, the DM.
Oh, I don't know then.
He's got to go. To be honest, I would bring back
Ethan said keep him. I'm all up for keeping him, Ethan, but tell me when he plays, Ethan.
I think he needs to go. I think we need to bring back Lavia, whether it's this summer or whether it's next when we can trigger buyback clause.
I love that, DC. No, but anyway, I know you have to shoot, Patrick. Thank you for joining us, mate.
No,
good to see you, mate.
Tell everyone where they can find you, brother.
And Phillips, if you ever watch this, my brother, if I know Liverpool will strengthen them, but at least go to Liverpool maybe and get something. I would love you to just play football, man. You're such a nice guy. That's the thing. You're such a nice guy, maybe. Then you're not pushing back at Pep. Then Pep is like, I can still keep you on the bench. Anyway, thank you very much, Ozzy and Martin.
Tell everyone where they can find you, mate. Where can they all find you?
Oh, they can find me at the same place. Everybody in your comments, I've seen them on my channel. So
you've got 115, mate.
Yeah,
flying away.
Yeah, look, you can see me on the True City Fan channel. Martin is also there. I've never had Ozzy on there, surprisingly, which is weird, to be honest. But Ozzy,
come on, mate. Anytime I can.
If you ever jump on. Alan, big up to you. Yes. Big up to you, Alan. Okay, pick up Michael from Dublin. Big up to you. So, guys, find me on the True City Fan channel. And thank you very much, everybody. Anyway, thank you,
Cheers,
Martin.
mate. Take care. Mate. Phillips will play. Give it some time. Pep doesn't want to sell him. I'll tell you now, I do. The club have said they would sell him. Not publicly, but the club would sell him. He's chosen not to leave. Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm at a point where I feel sorry for him. That's all it is. And I'm not. It's not a bad player. Because go back to Leeds. Anyone who can play murder ball under a Bielsa team is not a bad player, but it's just wrong time, wrong place for him.
It sometimes happens, doesn't it, Martin?
Yeah.
So, some players come into a club and they can be very talented, but they just don't work out. Do you know what I mean?
Ethan, it's not about giving the poor lad time. Pep's not giving him time. So where can we go, Ethan, if Pep's not even giving him the time?
Ethan, he didn't play. He barely played last season, and he's not even getting a sniff at the beginning of this season. He didn't get a really good go during pre-season. The writing's on the wall, sadly, for him. It's just that he's decided to stay.
He's not breaking errors to games. So compared to Maguire's a bit off. He's just not getting the games to make the errors. So no,
it's more. The reason I made that comparison is that I think it's just detrimental for Harry Maguire. It just wasn't working out for him at United, and he had to go, and he has gone. Do you know what I mean? And I'm making that comparison, saying that I think for his own career's sake, he doesn't want to end up being just,
Does he, Ethan? That's the question, does he? What do you do with Kovacic?
I don't see it.
Anyway, and listen, this is not a dig at, we're all saying we like Phillips. We're saying we just feel sorry for him. And for the betterment of his career, he needs to move just for the betterment of his career. Because unfortunately, he's got the world's best CDM sat in front of him. And that is the major problem here. And even when he does play, he will always get that comparison to Rodri. And he's not Rodri. It's like Alvarez. If Haaland got injured for 6 months and Alvarez became our striker, we'd all compare him to Haaland, because the first time he missed something, we'd all go, Haaland would score that. Because that's what fans do. And that's the problem with an understudy in a way. And that sounds so derogatory. And I don't mean it in that way, but that's what they are. Alvarez is an understudy to Haaland. Calvin Phillips is the understudy to Rodri. The problem is he's not even understudy to Rodri anymore. He's now understudy to the understudy. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's where you go from there.
And you think about it, like we said about Kovacic, more than likely, if Rodri becomes, hopefully, he doesn't, but if he was to get injured, it'd be Kovacic coming in there. And how bad is that for Phillips? Do you know what I mean? A player who's just literally come into the team, and you're saying you can slot into that position. Do you know what I mean? We're not even hesitating to say that. Do you know what I mean? We're not even going, oh, Kovacic, he doesn't know our system, blah blah. He slotted into this team. Fantastic.
And by the way,
tonight, not brilliant, but
people think we're having a dig, and we're not. Because listen, we're saying he's a brilliant player, and we love him, and we'd want him to do well. But it's only the first game. He played 0 minutes against Arsenal in the Community Shield. He played 15 minutes. It's like Peroni. I was in a space at half time and someone said, we need to get Peroni. Wasn't even on. Peroni was going out on loan. I think we've just got to get this thing out of our head of doesn't matter what we want as fans. It's what Pep wants. The fans don't pick the squad of the team. And that's why a lot of fans say, let's just back whatever Pep says. It's not because we're blindly backing him, because he's earned that. He's earned that respect to back him. And as much as we think Peroni or McAtee or Phillips or whoever is, Laporte is a world-class defender. And he's going to leave Manchester City. Doesn't make him a bad player. It's time. It's a job. Remember that. They don't bleed blue like me and you. It's a job.
It's all about opinions. We're on here expressing our opinions.
Very disgusting what they did to Rico. But yeah, Ozzy, let's move on because we could spend 30 minutes on Phillips and fighting it.
Do you know what I'd like to move on to, Martin? Because I don't know if just because it came up on Sky twice. It came up during the match. It came up after the match. I don't know if you saw it, Martin.
Oh, about the defence we paid for compared to the squad.
I was just like, what's that got to do? Really? I mean, we've got to just get that little dig in. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, really? You've got to compare the entire Burnley's history to what we've paid for. What is it, Martin? Seriously.
They're never ever going to get rid of it. It is. I'd love to put a graphic on of how many we've sold. Because you never see that. If you actually look at the net spend trophies this year, Manchester City are I think there's about 12 clubs in front of us and what they've spent on net spend. Arsenal and Liverpool are now the top two. There's United, Chelsea, United, all above us. Newcastle away above us.
I'm sorry. Hang on a minute. No, mine. Liverpool don't spend money. What are you talking about? They don't spend record amounts of money on players. They don't spend hundreds of millions on players.
That was the funniest thing I've heard last night. I actually stayed up till 3 a.m. listening to Liverpool fans have an absolute party. A party. They were jumping the streets. They'd forgiven FSG. FSG were brilliant again. And then they all went to bed and woke up at 9 a.m. and suddenly they were all FSG back out again. Flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop.
What it is to be a Liverpool fan. I mean, Jesus.
Liverpool, Newcastle, Villa, Tottenham. Do you know what? And it was quite funny because it just made Harry Kane go totally under the radar and slip into Munich quite quietly. Like just completely like, hello. Quite funny. Yes, Barcelona have reactivated contacts. From what I've been told, Cancelo's actually still out in Barcelona. When Pep said, it's family issues why he's out in Barcelona. Yeah, he was house hunting.
Yeah, the writing's been on the wall again for him.
He was house hunting, which you need to kind of do when you're kind of out there. I suppose. How about giving Phillips time in the 8th position? Who for? Hey, listen, I'm all up for doing it. But who for? And when? Aussie's in top form making billions, but Aussie's always in top form, mate. We don't just have Johnny come latelys on here, buddy.
Thanks, though, mate. Appreciate it.
We've got to get him to learn his pronunciation to players at some point, but that's just an ongoing thing. We just sort that out as we go. Wait till we get to the Carabao Cup. That's an old joke, by the way, 2 years, that. So we just, no, listen, everyone who comes on here makes great points. That's what it's about. We don't just, you are right about, listen, I only give opinions. I'm never right or wrong. Phillips' 2 is a big drop off. Phillips is, right, let's go back to Rodri. I just, the guy's a cyborg. He was my man of the match. I know Haaland got it with these 2 goals. He was my man of the match. Absolutely my man of the match tonight. Who was your man of the match? I think Pat's there.
Yeah, I think you're right with Rodri. I got frustrated, angry at one point with him, but apart from that,
What was you angry at?
No, it was just the pass that he should have. He went on to goal. He took it for himself, and he should have passed it to Haaland. That was the only thing I got really pissed off about. We talked about it earlier with Pat. But no, brilliant. And you're right, probably should have got man of the match, but it's hard not to give it the cyborg of Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Those 2 goals. I mean, the second one, wow, just wow. He doesn't even look. First, just brilliant. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Guardiola's appearance tonight. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you want to get onto him, Martin. I mean, I know he came on for the last 20 minutes, but I was quite surprised how far the picture was as well, though.
Pat, are you walking through bushes or something at the minute, mate? Or not?
No, mate, I'm still driving home. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Whoa. Well, at least we know he's sober. He's driving. Well, I hope he is.
Yeah, I need a few drinks. I'm very self-conscious about my driving.
He drives better drunk, apparently.
3-0, mate. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, job done. We can't overanalyze the first game of the season. I think there was proof there because there was a couple of erratic passes. There was some dispossession going on. But, it started off on the right track. Haaland, 2 goals to kick off the season. We saw that same time last year away at Liverpool. Away at West Ham. So, bring on another treble.
Bloody hell. What? Have you been drinking?
Well, sorry, but if he started last season with 2 goals away in the first game of the league season, then we're on track for another treble, aren't we?
We all said last night, keep it calm. Let's just take it. Pat's like, treble. Let's go. Treble.
Yeah, mate. And Harry Kane's now in Bavaria, so he's got no competition, mate. So he's on track for 76 goals.
What did you make? Who stood out for you?
Rodri, all day long, mate. All day long, he was everywhere. He was just there, ready to, distribute the ball every which way. Covered the tracks of our defence a little bit too. Was obviously on hand to assist the first goal. Nice little poacher's goal in the third one. He was just everywhere tonight, and just showing why he is the best number 6 in world football right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, let's even talk about those goal-saving tackles in the first half. When we got sort of caught out at the back. I know, like I said, because we mentioned earlier about Rico, we thought he started well, and then after the lighter throwing incident, he seemed to go in his shell a little bit.
Yeah.
He did give that ball away. That Rodri was really good at getting back. I think he did it twice in the space of 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I have got a question for you all. Let's take our bias hats off. If that penalty incident had happened against us, would you have all been crying? And be honest.
No, not really.
No,
not really, because if you look at Vinny's reaction to it, he did say something, but he wasn't overly exuberant about it. It's like, I actually laughed with the guys in the pub. I said to him, Vinny deep down's probably trying to get a penalty because he's trying to get every advantage possible. But I think deep down he'd probably say, I probably would have done that same challenge myself.
Yeah.
If he was still playing.
And I think they got the call right on the Walker challenge. Do you know what I mean? As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's a red. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was quite surprised that
the red, it was a red.
Yeah,
it was
I quite
absolutely
surprised
red. Yeah,
the ref didn't actually call it there and then, because he took his yellow out, but then in his pocket partly took it out and then put it back in. I think,
didn't it? He was a bit and do you know what? You feel like was it me, or did you feel like Craig Pawson was like, I'm going to let Oliver make this decision for me because I don't know?
Yeah,
I
think deep down, Craig Pawson realizes if he just goes with a yellow first, it doesn't look as bad from his part if he escalates it to a red. If he did it the other way around, if it was red then went to yellow, I think it would have been under a lot more scrutiny.
Jesus. 150 million quid now for Cancelo. Jesus Christ.
God.
The world's gone mad. Do you know what? 90 million quid for Paqueta's going to look like a bloody snip by the end of this window.
Yeah, 100%.
But we get blamed. City always get blamed for inflation the prices. It's not us. It's always bloody Chelsea, as far as I'm concerned.
It's like the Liverpool don't spend. It's like Liverpool don't spend. I've never seen 150 million for Coutinho go 10 years. It's gone for 10 years. It's 150.
Yeah. Mind you, they couldn't find this money at the back of the sofa when they wanted Bellingham, but they could find it for him.
Yeah. No.
It's just weird. God, it's weird.
Bellingham rejected him, and they just wanted to spin that into we can't afford him. No, you got rejected, as we got rejected. City got rejected. Liverpool got rejected. He wanted Real Madrid.
Everyone got played.
Basically. Yeah, it's the way it is. Just accept that, and we move on. Haaland, Ozzy, Pat. By the way, before the game, everyone was like, 6 games. It's not scored in 6 games. What's going on? Yeah, hello.
3 minutes later.
Yeah. The cyborg.
Yep, back to what he does best.
Yes, Vardy did look very comfortable, and in a very short cameo as well, he looked very, very good. And that's why I've seen people really have a pop at Kanji tonight and have a pop at Ake. Yes, they were not great as a partnership, but like I said, I don't think Walker, Kanji, or Ake covered themselves in glory tonight, but it was a makeshift backline.
Yeah.
That backline is not your backline in 2 weeks. No Stones, no Diaz, no Vardy. Let's just relax and see what happens. Let people grow into it. Because if you remember, let's look at January last year. We were not playing 3-2-2-3 like August, September, October last year. And everyone had a meltdown. Just because we're playing something now doesn't mean in 6 months we're playing it exactly. We don't know where Paqueta's going to go. We don't know where Doku's going to end up. So let's just wait and see. This is why we're doing the big streams after the window, because let's just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, top of the league. Sorry, I've got to say that. Top of the league.
You just had to get in there, didn't you?
Well, I do, because I'm sick to death hearing about City finish, blah, blah, blah. But top of the league.
Mind you, from every pundit I've seen, they all predict City to win the league. I think it was only... Who was it?
Ellen White.
No, I was thinking of Gary Neville. I think he said that.
No, wasn't it like 25 or 26 pundits or something at BBC said City were going to win the league, and the only one who didn't say it was someone who used to play for our women's team? What's that about?
It's like Stuart Pearce, though, mate. Look at Stuart Pearce.
Exactly.
You can always tell, and then Stuart Pearce is like, yeah, I didn't end very well at City. We know he didn't end very well at City, mate.
Yeah.
So, hey-ho. Haaland really was still learning, yes. He rejected us on Liverpool. We move on. It's the way it is. We're not going to buy everyone. If you could have, we all found out how many players have actually rejected City in their career, you'd be amazed. Honestly. City, people on about Kimmich. City have tried for Kimmich this summer. They were told not for sale, so you move on. It's the way it is. They tried for Frankie de Jong before Bernardo Silva. was going to sign his new contract. Frankie
Yeah,
going to leave
Martin. Yeah, Martin, we've probably had about 100 rejections, and I think Isco's responsible for about 30 of them.
Yeah, there's Isco, there's Hazard, there's all sorts we can go into. Newcastle will be a harder game. 100% that will be a harder game.
It's going to be a good game to watch, I reckon.
And actually, Newcastle have got Villa this weekend, I think, too. So that'll be an interesting match.
Yeah,
that'll be a cracker of a game.
Be a very good game.
Be watching that.
Pat, before we jump and we leave, because Alan's had a scathing review of Pep tonight.
Yeah.
That he was stupid, needs a slap in the face because Pep started Kevin. Do you agree with it? Has he gambled and it's failed? Because I don't know if you know, but Pep's confirmed he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah. I did. Yeah, I did fear the worst when I saw him go down in that first half. But when it came out at half time that apparently Sky had interviewed him before the match saying he wasn't expecting to start. You wonder who's to blame for that. So hopefully more will come out as more information comes to light. But you wonder if it's Pep or if Pep's taken that advice from his medical team. So we'll just have to wait and see. But either way, it is very disappointing.
I think we've just got to. It's like we talked about last night, and we mentioned it earlier, Pat. When we're not reigning in number 10s at the minute, there's a reason we want Paqueta in.
Yeah.
Now, like I said earlier on, the news is Paqueta will not take any part this weekend because it's one of them. His head's not in the right place.
Yeah.
Which I can imagine it's not in the right place. Paqueta's been told this is the problem. I bet Vardy wasn't in the right place for a long time.
Well, he had his bag packed and was expecting
exactly.
his medical.
And Paqueta's probably the same. He sat there with his bags packed, ready to roll. But until there's a deal hashed, And then the other thing is, we don't know if it's straight cash, and then if there's a player involved, and then it can complicate everything.
I think West Ham are asking that if a deal's done, they want players in return. Who that is, yeah. Exactly.
There is a reason we're doing a 12-hour stream on deadline day, ladies and gents. Not because we don't think it's going to be a boring one. We're expecting all of this to go to wherever we're going. We're what, 12 now? Let's just relax. We won 3-0. We're top of the league. We're now long ball FC, which we love to see. Bit of long ball. Well done, Pep.
I can't help but laugh. That we go to Burnley and we're the ones playing long ball.
I made the comment earlier.
How the tables have turned.
I made the comment earlier. If you look at 24 months ago, it was a complete opposite. They were the land of giants, and we were, the smallest squad in the league. Now it's the other way around. We've got massive giants, and they've got 5 foot whatever players.
It was quite funny, actually. It was funny to watch and listen to. Which, yeah, that's. I'll just keep laughing at that. I really am. I'm laughing at the fact is we've gone to Burnley and done long ball. Cheers, Pep.
Well,
it made me laugh how fans were having a meltdown at half time because Pep and Haaland had an argument. And Pep's, that's come out now. We're listening to it, and Pep's like, 10 minutes to go. Stop telling me what to do because Haaland wasn't happy with Bernardo, and Pep's then having to work because apparently Haaland wanted things changing. And Pep's like, 10 minutes, chill out. What are you doing? Shut up. I'm manager. You get back in your box, score 2 goals, carry on. Right, what do you want? I love it.
The thing is, though, Martin, I think that's the thing. Pep has got to keep these players hungry. He's got to keep them on the edge of achieving more. Because, and he's got to keep driving these players forward. We won the treble last season. How can we top that? I can only see one way of topping that, and that's going to be extremely hard to do. But even if we achieve half of what we did last season, still a successful season for me.
Yeah. Yes, and away fans were amazing tonight. Thought they were a bit quiet first half. But I thought second half when they started singing Long Ball FC, I thought was quite funny. Starting Alvarez in the Gundogan was wild. Yeah, we've talked about that earlier. It's something we don't think suitable, but it is. Laporte, Phillips, Cancelo to West Ham. Wow. Whoa, hang on a minute. 50, 100. That's about 150 million quid's worth of players out there. No. Top of the league.
Well, it's not like West Ham don't have the money.
Take one of them out.
True.
By the way, there is a rule. Someone said about loaning Phillips and loaning Palmer. We're not allowed. You're not allowed to loan two from the same club. So I think that's a league rule. So you can rule that one out straight away. One of them would have to be a sale.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think. Any two. Sorry, mate. Any two. I think Palmer will be the one that'll end up going out there because I know West Ham. Moyes is a big fan of Palmer. Big fan. No, listen, get giddy all you want, mate. Top of the league. We've got a +3 goal difference. Top goal scorer in the league. Best defence in the league. Sorry, I'm getting too giddy. Sorry, I'm just doing what Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans do every year. One game and we've won it.
Yeah.
Get the t-shirt printed, Martin.
Remember when the Rags were 5?
What date's our parade?
I don't know. I was going to say when I'm over there, but that's not until November.
Well, we can celebrate it then, can't we? Let's be fair. Be wrapped up by then.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've got to say, I thought Burnley did. I think Burnley will be fine in the Premier League this year.
Yep.
I thought they handled themselves quite well.
Yeah, they'll ruffle a few feathers in the league this season, I think.
Yeah. I was impressed. I was.
Yep. They have way less question marks lingering over them for a newly promoted side than what Sheffield certainly does at the moment. Wolves, I think, are going to probably really struggle this year. Although, I mean, getting who's the manager they just got, the one that kept Bournemouth up last season? Gary O'Neill. Now, we don't know what sort of philosophy he's going to bring to Wolves, but if he does the same thing there that he did with Brentford, then they might actually be okay. But current affairs at that club would suggest that they're going to really struggle. But look, I see Burnley comfortably staying away from any sort of drop zone, so I think they'll be all right.
Yeah. Anyway, so that concludes our very first thing of the season, our post-match, and I want to say a big thank you. What we might do is, because this seems to have gone really well, I think we'll probably do a call-in show. We'll do the panel, but I want to try and get you guys into these shows more often. I think we do calling after post-matches might be the best way of doing it. So if you want to join in, by all means, come in. It will be a subscriber-only show when we do the post-matches on them. Especially when we're playing United and Liverpool and all them. Will be subscriber-only mode then. We're even going to try and do an Alan into another mode. Alan happy mode. I don't know. Figure something out. But the big thing tonight, we've had over 125. We've had over nearly 700 people in this show tonight. Nearly 700. There is only 73 likes.
What?
Come on,
guys.
Let's get them thumbs up going.
Yeah, let's get Martin all happy clapper.
Yeah.
What was that fake Manc accent then? Happy clapper.
Happy clapper.
Happy clapper.
There's a couple of shows we might have planned. One of them I need to speak to the boys about. Once a month show that I might be looking at. I've been asked to host it. I go on a couple of other shows with other groups, and they've asked me to come and host as well, which I'm going to have a chat with the lads about, which I think would be good. Great win, great show. Thank you. I hope America's doing you well, DC. Alan's in again with a super chat. Positive this time. Breaking news. Good show, boys.
Thanks, Alan.
Did someone hack Alan's account?
European Super Duper Cup winners. Burnley press well, played at the back, come to bed proactive. Yeah. You're gonna already like. Thank you very much. To those who have liked, big thank you. Muddy Duck, you are a legend for your gifting memberships. 10 in 24 hours.
Nice one,
thanks,
buddy.
Mate. Thanks,
Good stuff, buddy.
Appreciate.
Alan, for your super chats, thank you so much. Really appreciative. Next week, I don't know where we're going to be. Only because my father was put back into hospital today, so we don't know. We're going to play it by ear. These shows will still go ahead. You might just not have me on them. Going to be hosted by maybe Ozzy, Pat, Rich, whoever. So there will be a build-up to the Super Cup. That'll probably be Monday time. See who's available. But if I'm not here next week, don't worry. Nothing bad. I'm just got to go and deal with family stuff. But yeah, it's fun and games at the moment, sadly. But yes, big thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone for your lovely comments that will probably come in after that. But yeah, Manchester City are back. The Premier League is back. Erling Haaland is back. And your channel is back. So big thank you. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic time. Enjoy. Sit back and enjoy the football. Because we're top of the league.
Top of the league.
Top of the league. Good night.
Take care, all. Where's the outro now? I'm still trying to figure out where the new buttons are.
Come on.
Oh, jeez. Don't give up your day job. Get out.